me feel good.
So hello, thank you for joining me. In this episode I'm going to be doing stage 29, the right exhaust pipe, as well as doing stage 30, the rear axle and the brake drums. Now the reason I'm going to be doing two episodes today is, first of all, I'm still catching up on my videos, so this will give me a chance to do two at once. Now the right exhaust pipe is pretty much identical to the previous issue, which was only released an hour before this one, except obviously it's a mirror image, and also the next stage, stage 30, is going to be a very short episode. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to make this episode stage 29, and I'm going to show it in fast motion with a nice little track in the background. And then once that's finished, we'll go straight into stage 30. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so that's stage 29 finished. That was a little bit easier in the sense that we didn't have to discover things, but it wasn't any less easier to do. But what I've done is I've now gone on stage 30, which is, sorry, I like to get their titles, rear axle and brake drums. And I've put all the parts ready. I've also put the two spare pieces from the previous issue in a little container so I don't lose them because they are quite small, and I have prepared all my screws into relevant boxes. So to complete this issue we need stage 30A and stage 30B. Now stage 30 is the rear axle bottom and B is the rear axle top. Now the bottom is this piece which has more sticking out on the sides. These are obviously where wheels are going to go, and then part B, the rear axle top, is going to go on top like that, and that will be fastened with 2 cm screws. So I might as well get those. But please forgive me, I'm going to get these parts out. There's an awful lot. I do appreciate Eaglemoss packaging these so that they don't get damaged, but it does take quite a lot of packaging. So the CM screws, we need 2 of them in total, and we're going to pop 1 into there, and this is a metal piece, I will remind you, as you probably guessed from the fact that we're going to be putting CM screws in, M being for metal, and if it was a CP screw it would be going into plastic because P for plastic. So this can go in as tight as you like because it's attaching metal to metal, and this is quite a nice build this week because we are coming away from the chassis. So I showed you the, well, I haven't showed you the picture yet, so I will show you the picture of my chassis at the end. I've had to create a new home for it because there's no fragile parts on the top and the bottom, and with it not having the rear wheels just yet, it's a bit of a problem. So step 30C is to push the differential cover in, and that's simply going to go in like that. Now I can see that it's not a push fit, there will be a screw going in. So we have this cover, and it's just, I can't really describe it as it except for almost half of a ball. If you had a ping pong ball and you cut, say, the top third or top quarter off, that's what it looks like. And that's going to go in like so, and you'll see there's a little hole in that's exposed, and that's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be big enough. We'll find out in a moment because we're going to pop an IP screw into there, and that should hold the differential cover on. So and there we go, that's on. Because it's plastic, it tells you when to stop, and then we're going to pop piece number D on, which is the differential housing. So we have got 6 holes here, but we're only popping 4 screws in. This one has 4 holes and 2, you can see we've got 2 locating pins. Those locating pins are going to go top and bottom, and I don't know if this is directional, but it goes in rather nicely this way. Yeah, it is directional. I can see that one of these locating pegs is slightly larger than the other one. So if you put it in, if you pop it in the wrong way. One of the pegs will go in but the other one won't. So quite why that's, it looks the same way to me. That's rather interesting, but that's the way they've done it. So obviously if they want us to put it in a specific way, they've done the decent thing and put different size locating pegs. I do like it when it's impossible to get something the wrong way. So I've got four different I've got 4 DP screws, which I'm just putting in just enough to grab, because remember we have locating pins in there. If that should slip out while we're screwing the screws in, all we're going to do is screw the piece on the wrong angle and we will snap those pins off, and those pins are there to help us. So I can see that's on properly, so I can continue these. Lovely. So because these are an M screw, we know that they're going into metal, but we are screwing on a piece of plastic. So we want to go on there until it's tight, but there's no need to, once like you see, there's no movement there. So I would suggest that's absolutely fine. So that's that stage done. So now we need to go on to stage 2. Step 2, sorry, and we are going to do the same thing twice. We have 2 piece Fs, which is the backing plate, and then we have the brake drums. And what's going to happen on both of these, I wonder if there's a right and a wrong way to do these. So that's interesting. I don't know if there's a right and a wrong way, you see. We have detail on both of these. Okay, so it looks like there is a right and a wrong way, because they do highlight this little circle, but there's nothing on here. Locate the first brake drum and place it on the left. And place it on the left rear backing plate. The brake cylinder on the brake drum should be aligned with the pinhole in the backing plate. So the brake cylinder on the brake drum should be aligned with the pinhole in the backing plate, figure A. Secure these parts together with 3 HP screws. Take the remaining brake drum 30E and using the same method fit it to the rear backing plate G. Right, so let me just double check the parts. I think I might have screwed up. Right. So both of these are identical, but these are different. So you've got F and G. So F has this hole at the top, and this is correct because it's got L written on it. So how do we know it's left and right when we have finished? That's interesting. So these should be absolutely right. So it should make no difference. Oh, okay. So what they obviously want is they want us to place the pin at the top, the hole at the top, and then they want the detail at the top, and then they know that this is going to be the correct way. So that hole there is just telling you where that pin is. So yeah, confused, so am I. So HP screws we need now, and we will need 6 of them. That's not 6, that's way more than 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we want to do then is just screw this up. So, right, so this is the rear axle, one of the rear wheels done, brake drums. So, once we've closed this up, how do we know which one is which? We know this is the R because it's got an R written on it, and this is the left. So I'm going to make a suggestion that I would suspect this is going this way round, because this is obviously a screw hole and a locating peg to connect it to the underside of the vehicle. We know nothing's going to go into there, and we can see a hole there, so I think it'd be a reasonable assumption to say the shaft is going in there. So that means that this is going to be the middle of the chassis. So if this is the rear and this is the middle going to the front, we know that this is the left. So I'm going to pop that onto there like so, and I'm going to secure that with a little bit of masking tape. Alternatively, we could just put a piece of masking tape on that simply says L and R, because like I say, once we've actually fitted these, once we've actually put these together, we actually have no way of knowing anymore which is the left and which is the right. So working on the same principle for the other side, we're going to have a little hole at the top, we're going to have the detail on the plate at the top, and we can place that in like so. I can't locate the tab. Right, there we go. I just couldn't see how to line them up, if they were lined up. Right, so that one's in, and we'll just check that is in by trying to pull it up, which we cannot do. Right, and there we go guys, that's that complete. So let's put method number 2 on this one. So a little bit of masking tape, a little bit of Sharpie pen, and we'll put, in fact actually I'll do that with the first one. I think maybe it was an odd idea to mask this off and attach it, but I mean, we may not need to know the difference because we've done it properly. I hope we've done it properly. Sorry, I've got masking tape stuck to my fingers now and I can't get it in the bin. But yeah, so maybe they will now go on the correct way round. Obviously these are going to go, this is going to be the outside and this is going to be the inside, I would suspect. Yeah, so wow, wonderful. So pieces are starting to get done now. Obviously it's coming together. There's always going to be pieces that we need to do off car. Obviously as it gets done closer and closer to finished, we'll be adding a lot more detail to the chassis, and it will become harder and harder purely because of the size of the chassis. it's just going to be really, really long, and it's getting very long very quickly. So I'm quite enjoying these little sections where we're not needing the chassis, if only for the lifting element of it. So yeah, guys, that is issue stage 20. At the time of filming, I genuinely have no idea what's coming in stage 31 to 34. There is a picture on the back of the magazine of the parts, except that's this week's parts. So there. So we can, looking at those parts, I can identify that we've got 2 more wheels coming. So one of those has got lots of lines, so we can assume that we've got more tubes, perhaps. And this looks like more leaf spring suspension. So yeah, no idea what's coming there, but I know it's probably going to be a couple of simple issues, so let's enjoy this while we can. And I would suspect, I think, that I am getting very close to getting caught up. So I'll say once I've caught up with the issues that I'm doing, I will drop it down to 1 video a week, which will be on, it'll still be on the same day, which is a Monday. But yes, I am getting close to catching up. So I hope to catch you in the next issue, which for you guys will be next week. For me it will be in a month's time, because my issues haven't arrived yet. And I bid you all very good farewell. You guys take care, look after everyone.